Gigi Berardi on FoodWISE, and I am finishing the section Efficiencies in Support Industries, Processing and Marketing, and talking about the University of Montana in particular, their dining services, and how that relates to our FoodWISE and resilience thinking. And then I have an article to share from the Washington Post talking about another new normal, which is convenience foods. And so I ask a few questions about that and talk about one of my more recent creations, definitely not a convenience food. And then put that all in the context of what is happening in the world in terms of lockdown. Like what countries are still in lockdown, what countries are opening up, and why. Big institutions don't have to be driven only by efficiency. However, just as with farming, there are food-wise ways of operating at every stage through processing, marketing, and ultimately getting food onto our plates. For example, while institutional dining services are big food consumers, they are also places where we can find innovative and responsible approaches. The University of Montana's dining services, under successive directors, aims to serve food that is not only tasty and nutritious, but also seasonal, fresh, and sustainable. Local is key. University of Montana Dining Services collaborates with the Western Montana Growers Co-op, the Mission Mountain Food Enterprise Center, and many other local providers. They bring in food from over 20 counties in Montana and feature their food producing partners, farmers, on the Dining Services website. The shared values and guiding principles statement for University of Montana Dining is broad and includes considerations of nourishment. We serve wholesome, high quality, and nutritious food. Sustainability. We commit to local, regional, and global environmental stewardship through sustainable business practices and agricultural economic development in Montana through the University of Montana Farm to College program. And diversity. We respect and celebrate the contributions, rights, and dignity of our diverse employees and guests. To me, this all sounds food-wise. If you want to dive deeper into the problems besetting our agricultural web, there are many gripping and informative critiques of our current economic, political food system, driven to produce the largest volume at the lowest cost, but leaving integrity and the future of the planet out of the mix. Early on, Paul Roberts had given one of the most thorough critiques, along with Harriet Friedman, Marion Nestle, Michael Pollan, and Eric Schlosser. Steve Ettlinger deconstructed Twinkies and Gary Taubes carbohydrates. Meanwhile, Friedman, Nestle, Pollan, and Schlosser took on whole systems. This array of viewpoints ranges from impressive investigative reporting to academic articles to nonprofit advocacy. Academic Julie Guthman adds a postmodern spin, questioning the loss of diversity of farmer and farm and arguing that it's not an accident. At the end of the day, we're still trying to figure out what to eat. The next section is entitled Meat. So the first article here from the Washington Post suggests that convenience foods is our new norm. And so I asked the question, really, are we going to be eating out of a box in our kitchen, boxes of mac and cheese, boxes delivered to our doorstep? I think also that really our concern now is sourcing wherever and whatever we're going to get, but also there's a component of freshness to what we're sourcing. If for no other reason, then we need the fiber. So, so it will be interesting to see what happens with fresh fruits and vegetables. I processed cheese to produce the ricotta cheesecakes that you see in the thumbnail image. And those are real cheesecakes made not with flour and not with cream cheese, but just with ricotta. And in this case, it's my sheep, and it's the ricotta. So it's made from whey, not from milk. So this is real whey ricotta cheesecakes with a little bit of citrus and some vanilla and a little bit of sugar and eggs, pastured eggs. And then there's 6 pounds of sheep ricotta that I captured, that was yielded, if that is an expression, anyway, from the whey left after separating the curds from the whey in cheese making. You can see the end result. And then I've got several articles on what countries are opening. So whole countries, and a very interesting comparison of Greece with only 150 deaths, and the UK with close to 30,000 deaths, which is the norm about for some Western European countries. What made the difference? How can it be explained? And it has to do with the speed and decisiveness of lockdown in these countries. It will be interesting to see what unfolds, looking at the infection rates of coronavirus in particular, as countries are opening up certain sectors.